Seller Central Walkthrough. In this lesson, you're going to see a complete walkthrough of how to create your Seller Central account. So before you start, make sure you've watched all the previous Seller Central lessons, especially the critical guidelines lesson. And make sure you've watched the documentation lesson too, and have all your documents ready. If you live in a group 2 or 3 country, make sure you've watched the Payoneer and World First lesson and have created your account and received your account information for Payoneer or World First. Lastly, have all the following information ready. Name, whether it's business or personal, address, credit card, phone number, and deposit method. Group 4. If you are in a Group 4 country, do not try and create your account until you have figured out how you are going to create your business. Trying to create your account before you have everything lined up can cause you a lot of issues moving forward. Professional account. We are going to use a professional account to walk you through creating a Seller Central account. Now, you can start with an individual account, but we do strongly recommend you start with a professional account. Upgrading your account later can trigger account reviews. If you go against our recommendation and use an individual account, upgrading your account later can trigger account reviews. But the process for both is essentially the same. UK and Germany. If you start with either of these two marketplaces, then there are a couple of things to remember. You should start with a professional account because they can treat individual accounts differently. We also strongly recommend you create a company before you open your Seller Central account. Changing it can create issues moving forward. Your display name. Before we jump in, I just want to talk about the display name. As you will see, you need to choose a display name. This is not permanent and can be changed. So you can choose any name you want at this point. If you already have your brand name picked out, you can use that. As you will see, I just used Rich Sports Gear in the walkthrough. If I was going to continue with this account and planned on selling products from the sports category, I would come up with a better name. So let's get started. The example we are going to show you is for the USA. I strongly recommend you watch the entire walkthrough once or twice before attempting to sign up. This will mean you know exactly what is coming. I also recommend you watch the next lesson about reviews and suspensions at least once before creating your account too. So to get started, go to sellercentral.amazon.com. Okay, so I've gone to sellercentral.amazon.com, and for this walkthrough we're going to be using a professional account on amazon.com. The process is pretty much the same, even if you choose to sell in Germany or in the UK. Now, we do recommend a professional account. If you choose to go with an individual account, then the steps are pretty much the same, although there will be less of them. So once you get to Seller Central, you're going to see a page that looks like this. And don't worry about the URL. When you actually go here, it's probably going to have a huge long URL. It's nothing to worry about. What we're looking for is under the sign-in box here, where it says not already selling on Amazon, and we want to click on register now. And that's going to bring you to this page. If, as we recommend, you're setting up a professional account, then you just want to click on start selling. However, if you do want to use an individual account, right underneath the big box saying start selling, you'll see a tab called pricing. You just want to click on that. And then if you scroll down, you'll see the options here. But I'm going to go through this as a professional. So I've just come back to the main page and I'm going to click on start selling. So when you get to this page, you just want to click on the bottom tab here that says create your Amazon account. Then you're going to fill in your name, your email, and create a password. And you want to make it a secure password. So I've put in my name, my email, and the password twice. And then I'm just going to click on next. Now I have blurred out the email address because I'm actually using a real email address. But you can use any email address you like. However, we do recommend you create an email address and use it just for your Amazon business. But that is not a requirement. You can use an existing email address if you prefer. So I'm just going to click on the next button, and as you can see, it's processing the request. Now at this point, it's going to ask you for your legal name. You can use your own name, or if you've created a company already, you can use your company name here. For the sake of the training, I'm just going to use my actual name. And then you want to click on the box that says I have read and accepted the terms and conditions of the Amazon Services Business Solutions Agreement. I'm going to check the box, and then once again I'm going to click next. Now this next box is where you input your address. Now if you're using your own name, then you want to use your home address, and if you're using a business name, you want to use your business address. So again, I've blurred out some of the information, but you just want to fill your address in, including your zip code. Now this next box is your business display name. Now you can change this at a later date, so don't let this stop you carrying on. So I'm just going to use Rich Sports Gear. The next box, the website URL, you can just leave that blank. And you'll notice when you click outside of the name box, you'll see this available come up. That means the name is available. If you choose one that's not available, then obviously you'll just need to change it to something different. Amazon do not allow two identical display names. So again, I'm going to skip the website. The next part is very important. Amazon are going to use your phone for your initial verification. Now there's an option to call and an option to SMS. If you're going to use a cell number, we recommend using the SMS. Call just means that you will get an automated call with a 3-digit number. It doesn't mean you're going to have to actually speak to anyone. So I'm going to put my cell number in here. Obviously, I'm going to blur it out. But do make sure you follow the formatting here. And if you're in a different country, you just want to click on the flag and select the country you're from. So for instance, if I was in the Ukraine, I'd select Ukraine, and you can see it's telling me what I need to put in. So you would just put the rest of your number in here. But I'm setting this up from the US, so I'm now going to put my cell number in here. And if you speak a different language to English, you can select a different language here for your SMS. So I'm now going to click on the text me now and then wait for my PIN number. It's actually sent me a 6-digit PIN number, and I've just blurred out a little bit of it. But once you put the number in, you just click on verify. And there you can see the message, verification successfully complete. Now, occasionally members have got issues with having this service, especially with SMS. If your SMS doesn't work, try using the call option. If that doesn't work with your cell phone, then try your landline. If you're still having issues with this part, then go and post in the community with exactly what happened and what country you're from, and we'll help you figure it out. But once I've done that, I'm just going to click on next. And here's where we put in our credit card and our bank details. So I filled in all the information, and obviously I've blurred out a lot of the information. Now one thing that's interesting, I noticed that I've actually made a little bit of a mistake with my address by missing out the unit number. So I could well get an error here, but we'll soon find out. And don't worry if you do, you can fix this later. So I filled in all the credit card information. It's actually pulled up the address that I put in before, and as I say, I think I've made a little mistake with that. And then you want to fill in your deposit information. Now, if you're using Payoneer for your third party, you will get a US bank account number from them, and you use that. Do not try and put your Payoneer card number in here. And you'll notice, you can see here, it's saying, why do we ask for your bank information? So you can click on it, and it's going to tell you, we need a valid bank account to send your Amazon proceeds. Now in the past, you could actually move forward with this without adding your bank account information straight away. And if you're in that situation, you haven't got your bank account set up, and you get to this stage, you're already processing through the application. So try clicking next without filling in the bank information. But they have made a lot of changes in the past, and I want to make sure I can walk you through the entire process, so I don't want to try going forward without the deposit method. So fill in the information and then click next. So we're almost there. We've now got to fill in our tax information. Now I'm going to show you how this starts, but your tax information is tied to where you're selling from and a bunch of other information. So just go through the tax interview and make sure you fill all the information in correctly, and you should not have any issues. But I'm going to click on Start Tax Interview. And here is where you start filling in information. So I'll just cover a couple of things here. So who will receive income from Amazon or its subsidiary? Is it going to be you or a business? So if you're setting this up as a business, you'd select business. If it was individual, you'd stay as individual. For US tax purposes, are you a US person? Now, if you're not, you just select no. So I'm going to go through this and complete it so that I can take you through the remaining step. All you need to do is make sure you go through, select all the correct options and fill in everything they are asking you for. If you fill out all the information, you should have no issues at all. If you do come up with an issue, then by all means post in the community and we'll give you a hand. So I just want to point out, when you get to the address part, when you filled it all in, just want to click on done. Now I'm expecting to get an error message, but let's see. Nope, it's accepted it all. And if it's an American-based business, you need to put in the EIN. And again, I've blurred it out obviously. And then where it says, do you consent to provide an electronic signature for your IRS Form W-9, you want to select yes. Okay, once you've checked that box, you can read all the information in here. Then you just want to put your name in, and it'll automatically fill the date for you. And then you click submit. And there you go. I did actually get one error message because I actually put my name and I was registering as a company. So I did have to change that. But when you go through this, if you make a mistake, it does show you in red. There'll be an exclamation mark, and then just scroll up. You'll get red text to show you exactly what you need to fill in. So once you get this, you just want to click on Exit Interview. Now, one thing to point out, if you've chosen individual, you might not even see this tax information interview. Again, Amazon do change this around. If you don't see it, don't worry about it. When you upgrade to professional, you will need to fill it out. But I'm going to click on Exit Interview because I finished. And then we get to the products. Now, you can skip this for now, or you can fill it in. It makes very little difference, but I'm going to fill it in. So do you have a universal product code for all your products? You will have when you follow the training. Do you manufacture and brand the products you want to sell on Amazon? You want to check yes. How many different products do you plan to sell? Now I'm just going to select 1 to 10. If in the future you get to 12, 20, 40, it doesn't matter. They're not going to suddenly say, hey, you only said 1 to 10. Once you've filled that out, you just want to click on next. Now you can skip this for now. Again, you can fill it out if you're ready to fill this out, but the odds are you haven't even been through your product selection training yet, so you can just click on skip for now, or you can sell where you think you're going to be selling them. For instance, in my case, I'm going to select sports and outdoors, both of those, and then scroll down and click finish. You can see they're processing my request. Now, if you get this message, then you have to enable two-step verification. There are two ways you can do this. You can do this with your phone, and that's what I suggest you do initially, but you can also use an app for doing this. But I'm going to click on enable two-step verification, and it's asking me to sign in again. So I put in my password, I'm click sign in, but you can also click get a sign-in code in your email if you wish, but I'm going to sign in to show you what happens. And this is it. This is how you'll receive your code. So you either use a phone number, and it's exactly the same as your verification before, text message or voice delivery, or you can use an authenticator app. Now you can do this by all means. However, what I would suggest is the authenticator app is the easiest way to go, because if for instance you're traveling and you're in a country where you can't receive text messages on your cell phone, then you're not going to be able to authenticate and log into your account. So I'm going to click on the authenticator app to show you what you need to do. So you can see here, open your authenticator app, but it's got help here, need an app. And as you can see here, Authenticator app generates random codes that you can use to sign in. They do not have access to your Amazon password or account information. Amazon offers an Authenticator app, but you can choose any app you want. Go to your phone's app store, search for Authenticator app, and download the app. Now, I use the Google Authenticator. It works perfectly well. I've not seen anyone have issues, so you can go ahead and do that. However, for the sake of the training right now, I'm going to use phone number. I'm going to paste in the phone number, and I'm going to say send code. And as you can see, I put the number in correctly. For whatever okay, I think I've got it right this time, but obviously I'm blurring this out. And I'm going to click send code, and it sent me the code, so I'm going to verify the code and continue. Now again, if you get any issues with this, then do go into the community and check out the posts. We will put a post in there about using the Authenticator app, but for now, as I said, for this training, I'm just going to use the verified code. And when you're setting up your account, if you get to this point, then just go ahead and use your phone number. You can change the two-step verification later. And basically, when you first log in doing this, not this time, but the next time you do it, you'll have an option that says, do not ask for codes on this device, which means you won't have to do it every time you log into Amazon on a specific computer. Unless you happen to go and clear your cache, then you will need to do it again. But as I said, if you've got any questions about this, then do post in the community. But I'm going to verify code and continue. Now, they're asking for a backup verification method. This is something I haven't seen before when creating an account. So you actually would need to use a different phone number. You can use voice delivery, so you can use a landline. You can use your partner's phone. You can use your best friend's phone. Basically, you can use any number you like. But when you do this, if you're doing it right now, you will need to have them ready to give you the code. Alternatively, you can go ahead and use the Authenticator app. So I'm actually going to use the Authenticator app for this one. And what you do is you would install the Authenticator app on your phone, and then you would click scan barcode. And then it gives me a number to type in, and I've put that in here, and then I'm just going to click on verify code and continue. Now, there's some information here. It's not actually something you need to do, but here's the thing I mentioned earlier, skip codes on your personal devices. If you are signing in on a personal device that you use often, you can choose not to be asked for codes on that device in the future. Anytime you sign in again on that device, you will only need your password. So I'm going to check the box for don't require codes on this browser, and then click got it, turn on two-step verification. And we have success. And that's it. I've completed the sign up for my Seller Central account. Now, if you get any issues along the way creating your account, then do post in the community. More often than not, you'll get better advice and faster advice in the community, especially from myself, Mike, and the mentors, than you will get from Amazon support themselves. So if you get any issues, go post in the community and we'll do our best to get you moving forward. And if you're creating an individual account, then obviously these steps would be a little bit different. But as you can see, I have created a brand new Seller Central account. Now, I just did want to cover one more thing very quickly. That is setting up a couple of settings that will make things easier for you when you're moving forward. So I'm on my dashboard. I'm just going to go up to the top right here, put my mouse cursor over settings, and then click on Fulfilled by Amazon. This is going to open your Fulfillment by Amazon settings. And the two very important things you need to change, if I scroll down so I can show them both on the same page, is first of all repackaging settings, where it says repackage unsellable customer returns. You want to disable this. This may appear like a good thing, but it's not. It's a very bad thing, because what actually happens is if Amazon get a return and they think it's okay, they repackage it and send it back out. But for the most part, what happens is your customer receives a product they think is brand new and it doesn't look brand new because they've repackaged it incorrectly. And plus, without being rude, the employees in their warehouses are not qualified to say whether one of your products that's been returned is okay to sell again. So you want to disable that. To do that, we're going to go over to the right hand side, click on Edit. It's going to open a new page. And right here where it says repackage unsellable customer returns, you want to click on disable and then click update. And there you go. It's changed that setting. And then the other one, if I scroll down, now what I'm looking at here is the FBA product barcode preference. By default, it says manufacturer barcode. We want to change that to the Amazon barcode. So again, I'm going to go across here and click on edit. Now, if you forget to do this, you can do it when you create your first listing. But if you do it now, when you create your listing, it will always have the correct setting for you so that you don't make any mistakes. So you want to select Amazon barcode and then click update. And then you can read the information here, but then just click on yes and then click update. And there you go. Those are two things you really need to do. Now there's lots of other settings in here. You don't need to worry about them right now. Any settings that need to be changed moving forward, you will see in each individual lesson. So you've now discovered how to create your Seller Central account. Next, we will take a look at any issues you might see during or especially after you create your Seller Central account. Your action step, create your Seller Central account. But that's it for this lesson. Take care.